A new virus in China is making headlines and creates fear. Are the crowded hospitals and viral videos a warning sign of another pandemic? Let's break down what's really happening. A new virus has spread in China, causing widespread concern. Numerous videos have gone viral on social media, showing crowded hospitals filled with patients seeking medical care. Reports of overwhelmed healthcare facilities have sparked fear and speculation. The global media has also picked up on this story, amplifying its reach. Today, let's uncover the truth about this virus and understand what is really happening. This situation raises important questions. Is this virus as dangerous as the coronavirus? Could it lead to lockdowns, high numbers of infections, and deaths similar to what we saw during the COVID-19 pandemic? Another pressing question revolves around timing. Why does this virus seem to emerge during a politically charged period, such as during Donald Trump's administration? These are significant concerns that require closer examination. The virus in question is called HMPV, short for human metapneumovirus. It was first discovered in 2001. At first glance, this might make it seem like an old virus that poses little danger. However, it's important to remember that even known viruses can become problematic over time. For instance, the coronavirus was initially discovered in the 1960s, but its mutations eventually led to the devastating COVID-19 outbreak in 2019. Viruses are constantly evolving, a process known as mutation. Mutations can change the characteristics of a virus, sometimes making it more contagious or severe. While many types of coronaviruses were harmless, one dangerous variant eventually caused the global pandemic. Could a similar scenario play out with HMPV? Hospitals are already seeing an increase in patients, and many are reporting respiratory issues caused by this virus. HMPV, like the coronavirus, is a single-stranded RNA virus that primarily affects the respiratory system. It can cause symptoms such as a cold, cough, fever, and nasal congestion. Although these symptoms are often mild, the virus can lead to severe complications in some people, especially the elderly, young children, and those with weakened immune systems. Both HMPV and COVID-19 can result in conditions such as bronchitis and pneumonia, which are often seen in severe cases. But what exactly are these conditions? Bronchitis is an inflammation of the bronchial tubes, the airways that carry air to the lungs. When these tubes become inflamed, they produce excess mucus, leading to symptoms such as coughing, wheezing, and difficulty breathing. This typically happens when a virus or bacteria enters the airways, causing swelling and increased mucus production. The body tries to expel this mucus through persistent coughing, but as the airways narrow, breathing becomes more difficult, often accompanied by wheezing and shortness of breath. Pneumonia, on the other hand, is a more severe condition that affects the lungs. It occurs when a pathogen, such as a virus, bacteria, or fungus, infects the lung tissue. The infection causes inflammation and swelling, leading to fluid buildup in the air sacs, alveoli. This makes it difficult for oxygen to pass into the bloodstream, resulting in severe breathing problems, fever, and fatigue. Both bronchitis and pneumonia can be life-threatening for vulnerable individuals if left untreated. Most doctors and health experts in China and across Asia believe that HMPV is not as dangerous as COVID-19. However, some Western media outlets are reporting otherwise, suggesting that China might be hiding crucial information. These conflicting narratives have left people unsure about the true nature of the virus. The reality is that the future of HMPV remains uncertain. We don't know if it will mutate into a more severe form or remain relatively harmless. The emergence of this virus has sparked various conspiracy theories, some of which link it to former US President Donald Trump. During his presidency, Trump was known for his strong stance against China in the ongoing trade war. The United States aimed to gain an upper hand in global trade by imposing significant tariffs and negotiating tough deals with China. These tensions have fueled speculation, with some people suggesting a connection between Trump's policies and the outbreak of new viruses. In 2019, during the height of the COVID-19 pandemic, similar theories emerged. Some in China claimed that the coronavirus was deliberately created by the US and released in Wuhan as a form of biological warfare. Biological warfare is not a new concept. It has been used historically, even during World War I and World War II. However, the Geneva Protocol of 1952 banned the use of chemical and biological weapons in warfare. Later, the Biological Weapons Convention of 1972 further prohibited the production and stockpiling of such weapons. Despite these agreements, concerns about secret development programs persist. Donald Trump's trade policies heavily targeted China. He imposed a 60% tariff on Chinese products, aiming to reduce the import of goods from China and boost the sale of American products. One of Trump's most notable trade agreements was the Phase 1 deal, in which China agreed to purchase $200 billion worth of U.S. goods, including agricultural products. However, by the time Trump left office, China had only fulfilled about 58% of this agreement. Trump has publicly stated that if he returns to office, he plans to impose a 100% tariff on Chinese goods, because China failed to meet its commitments under the deal. This has reignited conspiracy theories suggesting that Trump might use unconventional methods, including the alleged creation of viruses, to undermine China's economy and win the trade war. One of the most controversial theories claims that the coronavirus was created in a lab and intentionally released in Wuhan to weaken China. Some theorists argue that this tactic could lower China's economic output, disrupt global trade, and give the US an advantage in the trade war. These ideas gained traction during the COVID-19 pandemic and have resurfaced with the emergence of HMPV. Critics of China counter with their own accusations, pointing to cultural practices like the consumption of exotic animals and seafood markets, which they claim contribute to the spread of zoonotic diseases. This back and forth of blame has further fueled mistrust between the two nations. The truth behind these claims remains unclear, and much of the speculation is based on circumstantial evidence rather than solid facts. It's important to approach such theories with caution and rely on verified information rather than assumptions. Biological warfare, while a serious historical concern, is highly unlikely in the current scenario due to international regulations and treaties. The real question is, how do political tensions and public health crises become so intertwined? These theories highlight the challenges of navigating a world where geopolitics and global health are often entangled. What do you think about this situation? Who do you believe is right? And what lessons can we learn from these events? Share your opinions in the comments below.